It's Motivational Monday. Yo, what's good, y'all? My name is Mo, and welcome back to another Medicine for All video. This video, we're gonna talk about something really important, super duper important. How to avoid burnout while studying for the MCAT. Oh my God, the MCAT days, the post-traumatic stress. Please don't bring me back to those days that were tough. I'm gonna try to give you some tips that I learned to help you avoid burnout when you're studying for the MCAT. So first rule that you can use to avoid burnout while studying for the MCAT is study with a buddy. Studying with a buddy is guaranteed to increase your motivation, increase your drive, increase your longevity. Studying alone and isolating yourself, you will eventually burn out. It's gonna happen. Try to find yourself a study buddy, even if it's not, somebody who's studying MCAT for you with you. It could be somebody who's studying for another subject. Studying with a buddy, at least you have some kind of connection. Preferably somebody who is studying for the MCAT with you, but if not, that's fine. Please study with a buddy. Don't isolate yourself. Find somebody. All right, number 2, manage your time like an entrepreneur. When you're studying for the MCAT, it's gonna be hours. You gotta go for physics, you gotta go for chemistry, you gotta go for biology, all that stuff I don't want to talk about. But you got to do it, and it's got to get done, right? Like the MCAT is really important for for your entry to medical school. Managing your time is extremely important. The time you get up, when you eat, when you study, how often you study, if you're studying in blocks, what time of the day you're studying. You're studying in the morning, in the afternoon, or in the evening. What you're going to study that day. Are you going to study biology that day? Or are you going to study chemistry that day? Are you going to study the cars section that day? Or, are you going to study biochemistry that day? All these subjects. Manage your time so you can work when it's time to work and play when it's time to play. And this is key. You want to make sure that in that time frame that you need to study, you're studying. You got to make time to eat. You got to make time to exercise. You got to make time for your friends. All these other important things. Just because you're studying for the MCAT doesn't mean you're allowed to stop being a human. You are human first. Human first, med student or physician second. The first thing you are is a human. So you have to make time to do those human things. Playing, which is socializing, eating, drinking, whatever those things you need to do. So manage your time well. Motivation can only get you so far, but discipline is what allows you to go on. All right, number 3, find at least 30 minutes. Find at least 30 minutes a day to exercise. Exercising is important, especially when you're stressed. When you're stressed, your body is secreting all these hormones, cortisol. With all that cortisol and adrenaline just floating around in your body, it's just lots of stress and lots of being overwhelmed, and it's really tough on your body. It's really tough on your organs. It's really tough on your mind. It's really tough on everything. And exercise is, especially aerobic exercise, is one of those things that allows your heart to keep pumping, allows your body to adapt to stress, allows you to relieve off that extra energy and all that extra tension that you have. Especially if you're studying all day, you're probably not moving around too much, so you gotta exercise to get some movement in your body, get the blood flowing, right? So exercise, number 3. Number 4, schedule times to have fun. When I was studying, I would schedule time to go do a laser tag with one of my closest friends. I let out all my anger on those 12-year-old kids. It was so fun for me. I looked forward to it anytime I went. I was running and I was exercising too. Schedule those fun times often. Don't make it like a once every 2 weeks or once a month kind of thing. Make it as much as you can. Do it as much as you can, because remember I said you're a human first. You gotta play, you gotta have fun, you gotta enjoy life. Schedule time to have fun. Number 5, change your environment. When I first started studying for the MCAT, I studied in my room every single day, and it was terrible. Studying in my room was just bad, and I just couldn't sleep and led to insomnia. I kind of switched my studying around a lot, but I eventually studied every day in the library. The top floor of the library, right? Really isolated, really no one around. It was a nightmare. I would say that switching your environment allows you to dissociate a particular environment with stress. Say you study in the same spot every single day. your brain learns to associate that spot with studying and realize, oh, it's game time, which is good, right? It's game time. Your brain's in studying mode. You can concentrate or do whatever better, but it's also associate this place wherever your study spot is with distress, with boredom, or with just tension. So if you vary your study spots, not allowing your brain to really associate this spot with distress, this spot with studying, it can really just and it just allows you to really just sit down and you can relax and enjoy. Like, usually we love finding new study spots, so varying your study spot is key when it comes to studying. That way you don't associate one spot with distress, and that way anytime you go into studying, you're not just literally like your mood goes from to just terrible. My suggestion is you find a couple of study spots, maybe like 4 or 5, and you can add a few, like keep kind of finding new study spots and vary them. Like Monday you might study in one spot, Tuesday you might study in another spot. Vary the study spot so you cannot associate one spot which is distress. Number 6, the 6th tip that I have for you to avoid burnout while studying is 2 to 3 hours before bed, cut off work. And this is what allows you to kind of unwind in the evening, kind of relax, catch up on Netflix or your favorite TV shows, or go do something cooking, or go for a walk in nature. Do these things in the last 2 to 3 hours before bed, because one, it allows you to have better sleep, and then 2, it really allows you for that fun part of your day. We are humans first, med students or physicians second, pre-med second. Give yourself time for you, and allow that. My suggestions, you have that in the evening, right? Right before bed. It allows you to go to sleep with tranquility. Gives you that fun in that day. You need that fun and it's really necessary for you to have. So I would say between 2 to 3 hours before bed, just end all work. If you need to go do some grocery shopping, some cooking, go out to the mall, do some shopping, whatever it is, make sure you cut it out 2 to 3 hours before bed. All right. My next tip is for you to schedule enough time for you to study for the MCAT. I knew so many people that go, all right, I'm going to start studying today and I'm going to schedule my MCAT for like this day. So many people underestimate the amount of time that it takes for them to study for the MCAT. They don't include times where they're gonna burn out. They don't include times that like maybe they might get sick for a week, or and that probably will happen with a lot of stress that you're going through. You might get sick for a week. You might have something else come up. You might have like to go to doctor's appointments. You might have like other things that come up that will stop you from studying, that will stop you from doing this thing every day. You don't really adjust for all the times that that might throw off your schedule, then you really stress yourself out even more, right? You gotta say, oh well, I need to study this, I need to study. Give yourself enough time. Take an extra month, take an extra 2 months, take an extra 3 months, really. That way you don't have to rush, but that way you can still keep at a consistent pace and avoid burnout. And if you want to take a break, if you want to take a day off or 2 days or 3 days off, and you could consistently take those days off without like beating yourself up. So schedule yourself enough time to study. My last tip for avoiding burnout when you study is allow yourself to relax and rejuvenate. Relax. I mean, you got to be doing this every day, and that's what I mean by like the 2 to 3 hours before bed. You got to give yourself time to like meditate or do yoga or go for a nice walk in the park, or go hiking or something like that. This should be a daily thing, do your stretches or your breathing exercises or your aerobic exercise. These things that allow you to relax, get a massage. One of my favorite things that I look forward to is taking I live in a really cold place. I lived in Buffalo, and I look forward to taking a nice hot bath with some scents and then putting on some piano music. Oh man, I would be in that bath for like an hour or two just relaxing. So give yourself enough time to relax and give yourself enough time to rejuvenate. So rejuvenate, I mean by things that's going to excite you. Spend time with friends, spend time with family, spend time with people that make you happy. I stress this so much. We are social creatures. We humans are social creatures. Spend time with people. Spend time with friends. Spend time with loved ones. They really, really matter. Thank you guys for watching. I wish you all the best with your studying and your application process. So if you like this video, please leave a like and share the glory. And as always, guys, have a great weekend.